Now comes an interesting part, which is phreaking. So as I am telling you again, it is PH plus phreaking. Phone phreaking. It is phreaking. So it's a culture for which people they will indirectly make an impact in this digital or maybe internet part. Okay, so they study, they will do some experiments. Okay, they learn some new techniques, some shortcuts. Okay, explore all the software applications, telecommunication systems that are available, all the equipment, several equipments, either any equipments or maybe devices, they will experiment and they will come to a conclusion, and they started experimenting with the public telephone networks. Like earlier, if you can remember, we insert a coin and we speak. We insert a coin in the booth, in the public booth, and we speak. That is where these telephone freaks evolved with. And earlier, we used to see some videos about thieves. They will be showing the video of how they were actually freaking the entire communication system. They even showed some video about how they make. No, earlier, like before 15-20 years back, I'm talking about. Okay, so I used to see some videos they were making out, because the policemen kick these fellows and show how you try to make it up, and they used to show. And definitely in this part, I will be showing you one video. Okay, so the freak comes from freak, telephone freak. So that is going to make the best use of these audio frequencies, and that will actually try to create a replica of the entire authenticated system. So you can call it as freak, or maybe freaker, or maybe phone freak, or telephone freak. That is how you participate in the freaking process. Then you have like a blue box technique as well for the long distance calls. Like for example, sometimes they will say, if you get a number of 8 digit or maybe 9 digit starting with this one, don't try to attend the call. Your phone will burst. They will say like this one. So that is how they are targeting long distance calls. Sometimes when I was in India, I get calls from Cambodia, from Zimbabwe. I can see the telephone number series, and they will not be replying anything. Okay. Sometimes even in India, it also happened. Like they were getting my name, they were getting the address, and after that they cut the phone number. This also happens. So you can recreate these tones, the tones, that digital dial tones they have. The freaks can also switch the calls from phone handset. Free calls can be made around the world, and also when attending the call, they will be asking some personal information. Even you would have got this one in the emails as well. Like you have an interview for Canada-based company. Give your name, your address, your credit card number, your telephone number, your father name, your mother's name. Okay, I will tell you one good example. Before I told you I worked in a Middle East country. Before going into Middle East country, I was actually applying for several countries. Suddenly, I got one offer. Okay, in the mail, your CV has been provisionally selected. Okay, we reviewed your application online, so we thought there is no need for any interview. Okay, just give your name, address details, everything, mother's name, father's name, your qualification, your specialization, and I sent them, and immediately they sent an offer letter. They sent an offer letter. So the offer letter was looking so authentic, so real. This university, okay, this much amount of money. It was roughly around $5,000, $5,000 per month. Okay, you'll be given a car, you'll be given transport, you'll be given this, that, this, that. Finally, at the end, it was given, in order to confirm your position, please pay this much amount of money. Um, roughly 2,000 or $2,500. No, $3,000. $3,000 just pay to a travel agent. The travel agent, one telephone number was also there. When I call the telephone number, unfortunately for them, it was not working. If it has been working, then maybe you would think twice, go or not.
I think just so amount of salary, and just agree.
No. I didn't agree. I did not agree. I did not agree. I was seeing the terms and conditions, and at the end they said you have to pay an amount to the travel agent, and after that, the offer can be confirmed. Okay, that was a travel agent in the Middle East part. You have to give. Also, I received another one offer letter. Also, pretty much the same, but that university was not active. It was actually closed 5 years back. But they created a domain. Okay, as I told you, like maybe silkuniversity.com you have silkuniversity.org or maybe silk-university, like that they try to create, and they were doing this business. It's a business. It's a business. Great business. Okay. So this is where even blue box technique also evolved as well. So it evolved from this computerized telephone systems from the telecommunication standards that it tried to discontinue this in-band signaling as well. So dialing information was actually sent on a separate channel for these telephone freaks, okay, which was actually inaccessible to the telecom customer as well. So since it was inaccessible, they hacked this type of channel, and they tried to create some false information, get these personal details, and they could use it. As you know, in this present era, the person who is having more money is not the richest person. The person who has information about others is the richest person. Information is wealth. So in 1980s, the so-called PSTN, public switch telephone network, came out in US as well as Western Europe as well. They came up with a system of signaling standard, SS7 system, which uses out-of-band signaling. So actually, so through this out-of-band signaling only, these telephone freaks try to get unauthorized access and will try to communicate with the users. So phreaking has become closely linked with the computing hacking. Okay, they say black box or maybe Tor. Okay, Tor world or maybe like they will have a symbol of onion, black onion, you know, onion. Yeah. So onion, it will be a symbol, it will be something displayed in the black background. So that is actually computer hacking or maybe stealing the information. So phone phreaking was started around 1950s in United States and became very much prevalent in 1960 and 1970. So it is not the thing with 2000 or maybe 1990, earlier even it is started. So phone freaks spend a lot of time dialing the phones, understanding how actually the communication process worked, listening, okay, tampering the phones, listening to the crosstalk. Even many times you would have heard crosstalks. Okay, earlier during like I'm talking about 10 years back or maybe 5 years back, many times you will see crosstalks. Okay, that is also one form. I cannot say all crosstalks are telephone freaks. No, sometimes miscommunication happens, but this also is a form. Okay, listening to the pattern of tones, how the calls are being routed, impersonating others. Okay, that is how. Even the telephone numbers, for example, you might have used one telephone number. Maybe you would have thrown the SIM card. That SIM card, they try to get the information, all this stuff, they will try to get it and do the stuff. Okay, so from the telephone company trash bins, they get these secret documents. I told you, no, whenever you are downloading any application, you click on agree without knowing it, it gets access to all your applications. For example, unknowingly you are throwing the okay, unknowingly you are throwing the air flight ticket, just like that you are throwing outside. The air flight ticket has a QR code. If you scan the QR code, you can get all the details. So I can get your date of birth, I can get your first name, last name, mother's name, father's name, what is your address, everything I can get access to it. And especially in a country called India, in the country where I live, everything has been interlinked. Like for example, you do not have a national ID card, but we have a like a passport, we have Aadhaar card, we have electricity bills. Everything has been interlinked, separate card. So everything has been interlinked. So just by getting a QR code of a flight ticket, I can get all your information interlinked. Okay, this is where these telephone freaks or the computer hackers, they try to steal the information through these secret documents, maybe thrown in the trash bins of the telephone companies, and they get all these stuffs. Okay, so even in the telephone conference calls also, with the case of loop around, they are trying to spread this information. So long distance telephone calls were the item where everybody were using. So earlier, if you can remember, even now also, like the relatives used to speak over another one phone number. For example, if they are in Dubai and maybe they are trying to contact you, maybe for 30 minutes card they will try to put. So for 30 minutes they will be speaking on one particular channel. The telephone freaks targeted those channels also, and they try to impersonate. Ah, hello, hello, beta, how are you? I am your uncle, and this is where, yeah, please. And this is where they are trying to impersonate and they are stealing some information from you. Okay, so Phreaking was trying to evade the long distance charges also, and it was considered as a toll fraud. Okay, right. So then came pager cloning technique as well, where they used to send messages. Have you heard about pager? Pager. Pager. It's actually a very small device you have over here, just like okay. Have you used Truecaller? Truecaller. It's an application. Okay. Truecaller, you can get the actual identity of a person. For example, I'm getting an unknown call. I'm getting an unknown call from an unknown telephone number. If I have installed Truecaller, immediately I can go there and check who is the person who has dialed. I can get the name, I can get the address, I can get the email ID also. Okay. Now, why I am saying this one? Through Truecaller, you can send a flash message to anybody. To you, if you and me are, if I know your telephone number, I will type the telephone number. I can send a flash message to you. Flash message. So suddenly you will hear a tone, okay, a different tone. You just open, just unlock it. You will be having a flash message. A pager is something related to the flash message. If I want to send you a message, I can use a pager to send a message. Immediately it will flash in the pager. So earlier days they used pagers for communication, and this pager also, they had this cloning technique to impersonate, falsely impersonate others. Okay, right. So the UK, the situation also was different between the American as well as British systems as well. So they were trying to analyze the tone dialing as well as signaling patterns also. That was prevalent during 1950s and 1960s. Now comes HBO, home box office. Okay, so that was an American pay TV network. Okay, so we had the roots coming from Warner Bros. Okay, Warner Bros. Discovery. So they started out with motion pictures. Okay, and main programs were developed. Short films were actually made. Only after short films, like small TV programs, only then came these documentary movies, and after that only entertainment movies came with. Okay, so like special concerts from the singers, uh, specific interest oriented programs, everything has come up with these HBO. Okay, so it was considered as the oldest as well as the longest subscription oriented TV service in United States. Okay, Now HBO has modern pay TV. Now it has collaborated with the online voice over IP platforms like Netflix. You can download and watch movies for the subscription pay basis. Okay.
So there are three.
And there are free movies, of course, and there are more paid movies as well. Okay, so this modern paid television was launched during 1972, and then afterwards it was distributed to the individual cable TV operators. Then it became as a premium channel. Earlier, HBO was actually freely accessible to more cable TV operators. Now, if you can see, for getting HBO, you have to pay this much amount of money, maybe in dollars, to the cable TV operators, and you can enjoy the services. Okay, so the first TV was started all with transmitting through the satellite. It had a multi-point distribution services. It was distributing to all the cable TV operators, and they were getting the ISPs. Okay, so maybe like along 1975, there was also another channel, Cinemax. I have seen this particular channel, Cinemax. Okay, and after that only Movies Max, and then Movies Studio. The channels started evolving, and Star Movies, several channels came out. Okay, so there were multiplex channels around. So around like 1990s, we were experiencing these Cinemax type of channels. Okay. Then came streaming these videos. Okay, so 24-hour linear multiplex channels were introduced. Okay, so then only from HBO came HBO Max. Actually, earlier, if you can see the movie channels, or maybe the channels which we are dealing with HBO, only for short amount of time period only, like maybe from morning 6 o'clock till night 9 o'clock. That's all. When after that 24-hour came, so then HBO Max came out of. So the Warner Bros. Discovery properties, furthermore, it enhanced the privacy security features, also developed also, and then we had a platform called as Hulu, from where it generally had a add-on feature. Okay, HBO add-on feature, and then through like a Netflix type of environment, we have like a Roku customers as well. So everybody started to use set-top box over the box techniques, and from there everybody started to use from the home. Everybody started to enjoy TV programs, movies, short films. Even we can see some popular game shows, or maybe popular programs only in the online, not in the cable TV, only in the Netflix type of environment. So subscribers, I would like to also point out to the subscribers. Actually, it all started out with the Manhattan cable television. Okay, so home box office business unit was based on Warner Bros. And it had an income of nearly $2 billion every year up to 2017. Okay, by 2018, the programming facility, everything changed, and they had around 35 million US household only for the subscription basis. So that much subscribers they were enjoying. So they were enjoying roughly around 40.54 million pay subscribers. They were paying and enjoying all these services. Okay, so earlier it used to be 35.8 before the services. After the services, 5 million subscribers increase. They were ready to pay and enjoy the services. Okay. So it was distributed like 151 countries worldwide, and up to 2018, even 140 million subscribers were there. Right now, as far as the latest statistics are concerned, we had around like 500 million pay based subscribers. So this was the thing I was talking about. Manhattan cable TV, that was actually earlier developed around 1970s. So it was evolved from the New York. So that was the first urban underground cable TV to operate in the US. Okay, they had underground cables, and then came the Sterling Manhattan, which of course turned profitable, and definitely the system evolved to be the investment oriented, as well as you are going to get subscribed out of it. Then came Sterling Cable TV. Okay, so that was green channel. From the Manhattan Cable came the green channel. So they had unedited theoretical movies. Now we have behind the scenes for pay basis, but they had unedited theoretical movies licensed from the Hollywood film studios. If you can see earlier movies, everywhere it will be mentioned Hollywood studios.
Yeah.
Now several production companies have come up. Okay, so these directors, they approved this green channel proposal because the Dolan was the one who came up with this idea, green channel concept. So maybe he got a $150,000 development grant he got for sending this proposal. Okay, and from there only home box office, or maybe HBO, took its name, and it started distributing the services to all the cable TV operators. So this is from the world, from the beginning. So this is the assignment 2. You can prepare a PowerPoint presentation on this topic, foundations of our modern internet.
All about this, right?
Yes, about this, you are going to find out the roots, how modern internet evolved.